Pinteresting, presented by Tanya McGill Freeman of Digital Sophisticate. Welcome to Pinterest. This is, I called this very Pinteresting, your new social media best friend, because Pinterest can do so much for you. And, I think that some people feel like it's just a fun pin board and it's just something that's exciting to look at and it's very visual and that's cool, but you can use it for so much more. It's really a huge tool that a lot of people don't realize until they get in there and start seeing all the SEO properties it has and whatnot. So I just thought I'd share some of those things with you because when I was opened up to those things, it really it changed the way I looked at Pinterest a lot. So let's see here what we've got going on. Everybody can hear. Everybody's good. Questions? Okay, good. All right, so let me go to the very front page of my Pinterest account here. And if everybody can see. So, okay, well, let me go through this later. Okay. So this is my Pinterest board. And this is what it looks like. Go here. And this is really what I would say is my main Pinterest site. And you can notice up here in the upper left-hand corner that my Pinterest site is labeled so that I've actually got, D-Sophisticate in here for Digital Sophisticate. And you guys can certainly do that on your own settings. And you can go in here and actually change, make your Pinterest site very much yours so that if you want to put it on marketing materials or whatnot, which I highly recommend, you can go in and do that. And it's going to just put your username right here after the Pinterest.com site, which is, I really recommend because just like with Facebook, how you can do that as well. That way, the more marketing materials and things you have it on, you can go in and make that very specific. So make sure I don't get ahead of myself. Let me go back here. So why Pinterest? Pinterest is, and by the way, if you guys have questions, please, don't hesitate to type them in here. For me, if something's going wrong, if you're having any technical difficulties, just let me know. Don't be shy, raise your hand and let me know because I want to make sure that everybody's following along and all that good stuff. But Pinterest is really, it's excellent for marketing. It's just such a great tool that you can use that a lot of people aren't really as aware of. And just to get started, who I am. So I'm Tanya McGill Freeman, and I have a site called digitalsophisticate.com. And we, I like to say that, I just help people make their social media Zoom. And, I know that most of you guys are from your Up-Level Your Business program, which is fabulous. And some of you are in gold too. And that's awesome. And I just want to say thanks for being here again. And, but this is really a hub for people to flock to get access to all kinds of social media knowledge, because you can use your Pinterest however you want to. You can go down here and create lots of boards with other creative interests. And I, during the day, work in TV. So I've got one for our TV station there and stuff like that. So this is just my general board, just giving you guys a little tour of my board. But you can coordinate with people on here and collaborate. It's very, very, very cool. So just a few basic things I'll start out with. And then if you guys need, some more in-depth stuff, just write down any questions or type them, and we can certainly address those. So basically, starting out, you've got your settings where you're going to go in here, and I know a lot of you know this, so I'll try to not be too in-depth to start out, but I am going to start kind of from the beginning. So you've got your email, you've got whatever your name is. I just use Digital and Sophisticate, and then your username. And then put about, you've got here where you want to put what you're about, what your company does. And this can just be a personal statement. It doesn't really, you don't have to put anything there, but I would recommend if you're going to use it in collaboration with your business at all, that you do put something in this area. Because that's what it's like the phrase people are going to know you by or know what you do. It's just a simple explanation, kind of like a headline. And you can put your picture here, uploading your images. You can, let's see here, you can log in with Twitter, set that as an option, log in with Facebook. Some people don't like to do that. Some people do want to. It's completely up to you. Sometimes it just makes it easier so you don't have to remember your name and password, your username and password every time. And of course, you've got the old deactivate your account button down here, which I hope no one will be doing anytime soon unless they're completely overhauling everything. But anyway, so in here we've got, let's go back here. This is the main page, really. This is what you would say is your Pinterest site. And from the information that you put in under settings, this is where my website, it would connect to my website, my place on Twitter, my site on Facebook, and this would just geographically show people where I am, which is Atlanta, Georgia. I'm really actually in Kennesaw, but Atlanta, I go between the two. So Atlanta's much more well-known than this little town of Kennesaw outside of it. So anyway, over here, just to explain the main board, these are recent repins, people that I've pinned a lot of stuff from recently. That usually will show you your top 3, and that's what's over in this right-hand area. And then, of course, your profile picture. And then you've got a search bar up here where you could, search anything within my site. If you're looking for something in particular, like an infographic or whatnot, you can type that in here and do search, and it's going to take you to wherever those areas are that you want to find. And it shows you here that I've got 128 different followers, and I'm following 211 different profiles of people. I have 34 boards, 2,055 pins within those boards, and 340 people have said they or liked different pins that I've had. So that's pretty cool. And you've got just your main buttons up here for different things, terms of service, all this kind of stuff. And then over here, if you want to find friends or invite people. By the way, you used to have to have an invite to join Pinterest, but you don't have to anymore, which is really cool. Anybody can join Pinterest now that it's at the phase that it's at. So let's see. Let me go into, what is Pinterest? Technically, Wikipedia describes it as a pinboard-styled social photos sharing website. The service allows users to create and manage theme-based collections. And I like this. The mission statement of Pinterest is to connect everyone in the world through things they find interesting. And so interesting is certainly what Pinterest is. So, and if you think about it, your average household income of person that's on Pinterest is over $100,000 per year. So, that's a pretty good audience to attract to your brand or your website, which is so much traffic gets driven to people's websites through Pinterest that it's really a tool that you definitely, do yourself a disservice if you don't use it for that, if that's something you're wanting to do to drive people to your website. The average time a person spends on Pinterest is 15.8 minutes per visit, which is astounding in this supposedly 9-second attention span on social media that they say that we all have. So that's really phenomenal. That's just huge. And as any of you know that have been on Pinterest at all, you get in and you get sucked in, to all of these different areas. These are, like I said, just my boards, but just going in the general Pinterest site up here, if I want to go to everybody I follow and click here, it's going to pull up that information and all those pins, and then I can just get lost in here. So I'm sure that you guys have experienced that before. So it's kind of like an amazing tool that we can tap into. If you want to use it, it's really fantastic. And I think it is it's really the darling of social media right now. It's driving so much traffic to people's websites. It's phenomenal. So let's see here. Let's go into, for example, this adorable little puppy dog. Let's just look at him for a second. So we can go in here and see that this is something that was pinned by this person, Alexandra, via Kiko Gilson. So they, went to Kiko's website, saw this, or not website, I'm sorry, pin boards, and saw this and repinned it. So it showed up in my feed. And if you go down here, you can see that they had pinned it onto this board of theirs, Photography No Nudity. And it was originally pinned by this person who took it from over here. So, you really can get deep into this. And it gives you the option to follow. If I like this person's stuff, Linda's, I could go in here and follow this person. And then it goes below that to show you these repins. All these people have repinned this because they like this. So I can dig deep and go into her, her stuff and find out, what this person's been pinning, what this person's been pinning, and all of this. And then these people down here are the ones who've liked it. So they've actually clicked like on the pin and said that they liked it, which is right up in here. And then the option to repin it, of course, is right here. And those buttons show up when you kind of hover over that area. And then over here, just to show you in this area, if I really like this and I say, I want to connect this with my Facebook and tell people on Facebook that I like it, I could click here and do that, and it would show up, which is really cool. You can report a pin if you see something that's offensive or something that is very, too sales oriented, or it's sending something your way that you really are offended by. You can report it. There has been spam on here, so people will report that as well. You can email it. And you can tweet it. So there's just several different options of things that you can do. And to get out of this, you can either hit your backspace button or you can just click away from it and it goes away. So over here, it's telling me someone else has pinned something to the boards. And if I want to refresh it, it's going to come up. So I can do that. And let's see here. As you can tell, I have a lot of fashion stuff. I like fashion. So it's one of the things I follow a lot. Over here, these are people that are in my Facebook realm or connected to me in some other way that are now on Pinterest that I could choose to follow. And then it shows recent activities over here. So these are people that have liked something that I have put up or commented on something or started following me recently. So like this person here started following my social media blitz board. And just so you guys know, if you do want to follow me, this is of course completely up to you, and go into my boards. Let me show you this real quick. I do have some Pinterest stuff, and let's see, here we go. It's the second one, social media board. And I have a lot of stuff on Pinterest in here. And also I have some stuff that's just general techie stuff under Techie Schmecky. So coming up with fun names for these is one of the things I've enjoyed. And hopefully, you guys will too. For example, if I go to my happy place and click on this board, I can go in here. And what I would always recommend doing, this is anything that makes my heart zing is what I've put up here. So this is just stuff that inspires me, things that I like, enjoy. And what I always recommend doing is this is all going to be search engine optimized in here. That's one of the beautiful things about Pinterest, unlike Facebook, which is kind of locked down. It's very search engine friendly. So as many keywords as you can put with your boards and with your, because this is just relating to my whole board. And let me go into edit board. And with your pins, it's going to really behoove you to make it more searchable, which is fantastic. So I would always recommend having a description and then picking a category, because categories are how people go through and sort out what they want to look for. Like my hubby is way into motorcycles. So he's on Pinterest and he pins a lot of stuff to do with biking. So he's going to go search a lot of stuff that's under the motorcycles category, for example. This is just related to my life. These are things that make me happy. It's just very general. And, that's kind of what that is. Under who can pin, right now I have this set that only I can pin stuff into this board, but you can add other pinners. You could have a board like I have one social media board that is several people at work that coordinate with me on a lot of stuff. We go through and we share stuff and we pin stuff on those boards together. Let me go show you that one. And that's kind of cool because then I have a board that I have access to that other people are putting stuff in as well. So that's kind of a little known area. It's called Add Social. It's right here. And you can tell by this little icon that that has multiple people able to pin to it. See how Nito Bandito doesn't have that, and my DIY doesn't have that, but this does. So these pins that show up in here are coming from all different people. And it's just kind of little things that we do to help each other learn more about social media. You can use this for so many ways. If you had recipes you wanted to contribute to and have other people contribute to, you could put them in here. Just so many cool things. And this shows you the people right here that are contributing to it. Right now, it's just Russell and myself, the person that I work with. And so we really work to keep our department on its toes as far as social media is concerned. But let me go back to the SEO because this to me is just really important. When you pin something, for example, let me just go in here and look at this Poochie thing here. When this person pins something, right here is going to be their comment that they put, and they put Emilio Pucci because that's the designer of this gown, right? So that's really key because these keywords, these phrases, these things that show up down here are going to be imperative as to when people go search these items to find something like this and to find a Pucci gown. You know, they could have even put Emilio Pucci and then put white gown, model, runway, whatever, and then it would show up on even more searches. So it's all about how many words and how much of a distinct, you know, descriptive phrase that you put down in here. And that's really important. Sometimes you'll go through, because see, when people go up here and search, if they want to search Emilio Pucci, her gown, she's going to show up in there somewhere. But if someone just put gown on here and that's it, and the Emilio Pucci wasn't there, no one would really know that's a Pucci gown. So that's kind of an example of how that works and why I think it's so important to put something in here. Like this was pinned, okay, chick with really amazing, beautiful red hair and a white gown and a rose. But as you can see right here, there's no real description. There's nothing going on. So if you click in here, they don't have any keywords that tell anybody anything about this picture. So it's not SEO optimized. It's not going to show up in very much, you know, in searches. Whereas if I were going to optimize this, and let's say I was a hair salon, like one of the clients that I work with is a hair salon. So if I were to pin this to his board, I would put red, curls, fair skin, you know, gorgeous makeup, rose, eyes, you know, just eyebrows, beautiful lips, you know, pin as many things in here as you can that are descriptive about it, because that's going to make it pop up when people go to search for it, whether they go to search in Google for images or whether they go up here to the search bar and put stuff up here. So that's kind of, you know, how that works. So like right here, this person put Edwin. Well, anyone that goes in and types Edwin for a search is going to find this. You'll see a lot of these sometimes that have just the period here. For a long time, Pinterest wouldn't let you put anything in here. They wouldn't let you put anything unless you had something. So people would put a period. But that's kind of, again, a way to get around categorizing and maximizing social media. I'm sorry, search engine optimization, which, you know, if this person's just got their own private board, they don't really care, fine. But if you're doing this at all to drive any traffic to your site or to your blog, definitely put some descriptions down here, like fabric behind the headboard. That's what they love. So people looking at different fabrics or headboards, this is going to come up. I believe this is a good description down here. It's telling them the designer, it's the spring collection, ready to wear. They're vibrant shades of blue and fuchsia. So that's really getting specific, and it's going to come up for a lot of people when they do searches. So, you know, links, those are considered, you know, if you click on something and it doesn't click through to anything, it's like a no follow. It's kind of going somewhere. Like we can click on this and click actually on the image and see if it takes us to anything, which it doesn't. So, well, wait, no, I'm sorry. It's sending the request. It's coming up. It's going over to this person's blog. Okay, I'm sorry, that's wrong. So this is clicking through to someone's blog, but if we didn't, give that a moment or know where it was going or whatever, we wouldn't necessarily know that this was going to go to someone's blog because it doesn't say anything down here about that person's blog. So one thing I will recommend is when you're going to pin something, particularly if it's, I would say if it's proprietary, if it's only yours. Let's say I took this picture and I put this in here. I didn't repin it from someone else. I put it in here. Definitely go in here to this picture and put your website down in the comments. Put down, www.digitalsophisticate.com, whatever that, because that's going to link it to my website, and you're just optimizing your opportunity to get people over to drive traffic to you much more. So it's going to give you some benefits, and it helps you generate traffic to your site. Search engines really, really like that. They're really into the words that you have down here and the different descriptions and things that are more description heavy. I want to say that around 200, like this is a great description, 200 characters or so is really optimized. That's where you really get a great description. Stuff like this, just this puppy dog with nothing down here, is not going to attract as many people as something that has a really good description on it, where people, or a quote, like this is Bridget Bardot here. People will just tend to read it if it's about, I would say 200 to 400 characters. Much more than that, you don't want to get into an entire, book of stuff, but that's kind of just a good example to show you of how many characters. Your competitors and your clients, are in a conversation. When you're talking to people about social media and about just in general, not just Pinterest, it's a conversation, it's a cocktail party. And if you go on here, let's say for marketing, and it's all about you, and it's, buy my used car, no one's going to want to talk to you so much, right? But if you're, it's like you're going to be stuck in a corner kind of by yourself, having a conversation by yourself. But if you can be in here and actually make it conversational and comment on other people's posts and their pins, then they really get excited about that. I mean, I know I do. Let me see how everybody's doing here. Is everybody doing all right? Everybody's doing okay? Just if you have any questions, let's see what we've got here. How many? Let's see. Dickie's got a good question. How many descriptive phrases should you place? I think that you can place as much as you like. In here, you can put, as much. I keep it to around 400 characters total, and that's not. It's just like a brief paragraph. I hope that that's kind of answering your question. If not, we'll certainly open this up so that you guys can get more specific, and we can make this more of a two-way conversation. But it's as descriptive as you want to get. The more descriptive that you get, the better you're going to show up in people's search results. So let's see here. Everybody's okay. I'm just looking at any questions. Okay, good. So yeah, I would look at it as a cocktail party, a fun party, having a two-way conversation. And people love it. Like I said, when you compliment them on their pins, just like if you're at a cocktail party and someone complimented you on your outfit, it would be, oh, that's so cool. Awesome. Who's commenting on what I've got on, or what I've got on my pins. It's exciting and it's fun that way. So, people will post stuff about their vacations on here. They'll post everything. It's a lot of fun, and it's just great for your branding. It makes your brand more visible and more pinnable. So remember, like I said, to place a link to your Pinterest site on anything you do where you want people to find you. If you've got business cards that you want to put it on, that's awesome. If you've got, if you're sending out some postcards to people just to say, hey, what's going on, put it on there. And that's, again, where you'd get your site. If you go into your area up here, and it'll tell you what your particular Pinterest site is, which, for example, mine's right here, DSophisticate. So, people always ask too, how can I use it for business? But it's really drives so much traffic to your site, to your blog. Some of the things you can do that help with business. For example, I'm, just a social media crazed junkie here, you could say. So I've got a social media board, and I go in here and I pin all kinds of stuff for social media, and then I go back and I refer to it a lot. And, like if I say, oh, yeah, I want to send out an email about something, what's the best time of day to do it? You can go in here and find out email campaigns, delivery, checklist. Here's a really great checklist for, which would help so many of us with what we're doing with, different things about sending out email campaigns and whatnot. If I want to go on, and here's a great pin that I'll share with you, is building the perfect marketing pin for Pinterest. And excuse me, it's showing you that you want to label a pin with a price. If it's a product and you have a price, and that is just something you put in the description. You just put the $ and the number, and it automatically puts it up here for you. Cute animals food does so well. This is great because it's showing you that the top quality image is going to be around 300 pixels by, 300 pixels or higher, because anything below that's too small. And there is a limit, by the way, on here for Pinterest about if you can have things that are just indefinitely long, but they can only be so wide. So you might notice that you don't get as many horizontal images as you do get images that are longer in length, like this is. So that are more, that are more, I guess you would say they're a lot more, they're not so landscape, they're more portrait size. And again, a short, snappy, informative, or intriguing description. That's important down here. And see, they're using hashtags to group their stuff together. And again, that's going to increase their Pinterest SEO. So they've got pug, dog, and pets. And add your URL to the description to drive traffic to your website. So see how they've done that right here is www.yumwoofdogchow.com. So people are going to be able to click on that and go straight to it, which is really, really cool. And let's see here. You want to, remember too that your boards are places that you can go back to, like I said, to get information. Like I can go back into some of my boards here and say, oh yeah, someone told me about a book and I put it in here because, this is where I keep all my collection of books. And so I go in here and say, oh, okay, which book was that someone was telling me about, or a movie that was really good? Oh yeah, it was this book, Imagine. Fantastic. And I can click on here and imagine how creativity works. Linchpin, are you indispensable? I can go in here and find out more information to it, see where it takes me. It's just all these different, things that you can relate to. It really is like a virtual pin board for you. And let's see here what else I can. It's a great way to create viral content. Just going in here and pinning a few things, and the next thing you know, other people are pinning your stuff, which is very cool. And another thing that makes you feel really super great. And one of the biggest challenges is coming up with visual content that's pinnable. So some ideas to get you going in that area are strong visuals. So you want to have something that's a strong visual. Like this is a great visual of this book. This is a great visual. This is hilarious. This is a movie, The Royal Tenenbaums. Great movie, good visual. Things that make people want to click on you and say, wow, I want to click on that and follow it through and see where it goes. Infographics and data charts, like this one is an infographic. Look how long this thing is. I mean, this whole thing has been posted and it's hugely long. And you can click on it again to bring it up and actually take you to the website where you can actually read it. It's a summer reading flow chart, which was kind of cool. And it takes you through to which books do you want to read this summer? Do you want to start here? Or do you want to start there? Where do you want to go? Depending on what you want to read. And it's just really long and interesting. So, photos of your team, of your customers, that's just a fantastic thing to do. Is, for example, like the hair salon that I work with, we go on and take pictures of his clients and whatnot and put them on here and put their names underneath them. And they love that. Like this, great haircut. You could have a next haircut board and go on and put that on there. and just go, oh yeah, in the future, I really like this. If I grow my hair out, I kind of want to have, my hair like that, and that kind of thing. Ebook covers, this is a really good one for us, because as we get more into doing our, VFOs, our valuable free offers, we can pin a link to a picture of your ebook on here and have it click through to your site to where your ebook is. And oh my gosh, you might be amazed at how many people will start requesting your ebook and end up on your list, which is, we all know we're trying to build. So that's super cool. And products or images, that kind of thing. And you can have a guest pin board like my friend and I do, where we share at work, we share boards, and we have the social media board. Contests, you can hold contests on here. That's huge. Just be careful how you do it, because you don't want to be too promotional. Again, always think of it as a two-way conversation. Add the pin it button to your website, and make sure that if you've got a website, you can do that, and you can go in here and do that in the functionality of your settings and everything. I'd highly recommend that. One of my favorite things to do, I'll tell you guys, is been going in here under featured today, and I have a featured today board, and I would try to go through, and every day that I can remember to do this, I go in and I feature things that I like. They're usually products that I like or find intriguing or whatever, and that's what all these little different things are. So I've gone through and said, today, this is my featured thing. This is what I'm into. Or I'm into this bracelet, or I really love, this is an eyeliner, it's fantastic. So, I pin things there and share them with people, and they can go on here and say, oh, what's Tanya's pin of the day? If they really were that into the stuff that I pinned, they could say, oh, today, check this out, Smashbox O-Gloss. And this stuff is really fantastic. So I put, a note down here. This stuff is like silk, no kidding. I love it. And they can click on it, have it come up, and then click on it again. And if I have pinned it from somewhere you can buy it, it'll take you right there. Like on Amazon is where it looks like I tried to get this from. And someone would say, I really like this. Oh, good. It launched Amazon for me. I can go in here and add it to the cart, and bam, I've, bought this because this person said it was really fantastic. So that's kind of cool too. So that's a really fun board to do, is, just a thing of the day, an item of the day, a book of the day, feature today. So I call this something a little special chosen each day that I want to share with my oh so fabulous followers. So that's kind of, what I put up here. And there are so many great ideas, and I'll send a list out to you guys when we're done of things that can give you great, inspiration for what you might want to pin. And I'll tell you, these are some Pinterest do's that I've gotten, like do's, D-O''S's, like things you want to do. Add links of your descriptions to your pins. Track the analytics to see what pins are delivering the most traffic, and I'll go over that with you in just a second, how you can do that. Include relevant link back to your site. Even if you're uploading an image from your computer, always, always, always go in and, add something that gives it a link through. For example, here's a Missoni scarf. If I worked for Missoni and I was posting this and I wanted someone to be able to go buy it, then you want to be able to click on it and go in here. And if you actually go into the edit button here, you can go in here and see where the link is. So this is the link. This is the whole link of where it's going to go, where it's going to take me. It looks like it was posted from gilt.com. And this is the description. So here in the link, you could put in, www.marinacogler.com, and she could put, her website, and it's going to draw that person to this link every time they click on it. That's huge, hugely important right here. So now let me go back out of that, because that's not my pin. So I'm not going to change that, because I actually didn't take it from my website. I took it from gilt.com. But use it, use the hashtags. Those are really fantastic to use hashtags, because it really, again, maximizes the SEO. And when I say hashtags, it's just kind of like what you would use on Twitter, only, let's see here. Let's see if I've got some with hashtags. Like here, I've got book. So I've put book under this one. Anything that tells people, it's going to, here, Audrey, because this is featuring Audrey Hepburn, and she's, all over Pinterest. People adore her. So anytime someone goes in and looks for book, it's going to show book there. Those kind of things. Movie, you can type a person's name, whatever. So that kind of thing. Some don'ts that I've gathered that I think are pretty relevant are don't overly self-promote. Share content from others too, not just your own stuff, but others, because people love that. And that's how you're going to get a bigger following and more and more people following you on Pinterest. And don't, I would say it's up to you. This can be a time suck, but you don't want to spend hours and hours on there every day. It's not the only place that you want to be. But it is a fabulous tool. And if you can post credits to where you got something, if you use someone else's photo and you put it on here, you may want to, give them a little shout out. That is usually really, really handy. Let's see, I'm trying to see if I have any. I don't have anything on this board like that, but if I were posting some photos that I borrowed from a friend of mine, I would definitely want to credit them in there. That's a huge thing, is crediting people, like this person did here. Tiger and Cub by Studious Panda 88 on Flickr. So they're crediting where they got this from, and that's cool. That helps in that way. If someone says, "Hey, I love their photography, I want to hire them," I'm going to go in and find out where they are on Flickr and see about, hiring them to do some photography or whatnot. It's just crediting. Let's see. Trying to find out what else I can tell you guys. So the basics: upload a profile and your photo, add your profile description to your site, like we've got here. Go and add your description right up here. So I'm just kind of helping promote my company. So I've got what I do here, my website. Be sure and put your website URL in your bio. So right here, I've got my website URL right here. And let's see here, what else? Start to follow people. Start with your Facebook friends. That's a really great place to start, because if you start with your Facebook friends, then there's people that are already like-minded. They're kind of connected with you. So you can go in and pull in people from your Facebook friends and tell it you want to, pull those people in, and start setting up your first board. So, it gives you like a set of maybe 5 boards or something like that to start out, that are just basic, generic, but customize them, make them for you. This is fun. This is all about your pin board. So anything that you want to collect, recipes are a fantastic thing to start collecting, vacation spots, shoes. I mean, gosh, women, how much do we love shoes? So I've got like a whole shoe board that's full of shoes that you wouldn't even probably want to delve into, because there are so many shoes in here that I absolutely love. And quotes about shoes. I also try to be organized. I want to be organized. I pretend in my real life that I'm organized, but so I've got a board here for Let's Get Organized, and anything that has been inspiring to me as far as organizational, I'll put it in here, and I can go back later and go, oh yeah, this was really cool. This product is for your kitchen. It's kitchen storage, and how to make all your pots and pans actually fit where they're supposed to fit. Cool. I'm going to click on that and see where it takes me, because I actually want to go buy that now. And so you can click on it. It's going to take you to the website where I found it, and it's going to go into kitchens.com, and hopefully it'll take me to that product, and I can say, oh yeah, this is where I found that. And I can go in here and buy it if I wanted to, which I remember looking at it. It's rather expensive. I'm not going to buy it right now, but if I wanted to, I could. And then just connect your account to Twitter also, so that if you go in here under your settings, make sure you've got your Twitter account. Let's see where I've got my Twitter account here. If I want to log on with Twitter, I can go on with Twitter, and I can tell it, I want to pin this through Twitter. I want to go into my Facebook and I want to connect it with Facebook. Do that. So those are some of the things that you want to do. You can create a strategy. You can actually go in and create an entire Pinterest strategy if you want to, based on what it is you want to do and where you want to drive your Pinterest traffic or what you want to do. I started out on it because it was fun. I liked it. We're all visual creatures. But then as I got into it more, I thought, I can actually really use this more for my business as well by posting things about social media and linking them back to my website. And wow, what a traffic driver it is. Some people that are amazing photographers, like, wow, look at this. They might want to go in and watermark their photography, because if it's up here, this photo that's gorgeous by Steve Axford, it's free game. Anybody can right click on it, save the image, and use it anywhere else. So you got to know whatever you post up here can show up wherever you want it to show up. I mean, you can put it on your website. People will claim work as their own. It's just, this is the world we live in. It happens. So if I were to go over, for example, to my photography board, where I've put down stuff that I love that's photography related, under here, Photographic Genius. And by the way, if you haven't noticed already, I mean, talk about, you want to plan a wedding, use Pinterest to plan a wedding. Oh my goodness, huge for weddings. But some people may have put watermarks on some of their items. I'm trying to see if there are any. For, let's see, pictures that they've taken. And I'm not seeing any yet, but you can click on some stuff and you'll see either down here, it'll have their website or a watermark over the whole thing, because, these are things that people have worked very hard on, taking pictures of and developing their photography, and it's nice to get credit. Like this, instead of just Red Umbrella, if I had known who did this, actually took this picture, I could have credited them down here, which would be really, really nice. So that's another example. And I mean, it's very inspiring. There's a lot of inspiring stuff on here. Like, for example, I actually have one of these on my desk at work now, my little betta fish in a really tall bowl with a flower, because I saw this picture probably back in the spring and thought, I love that. That's really cool. And every day I see my little fish Simon and it makes my day. So there's, so many different things on here that you can do with Pinterest. And you can help do community outreach stuff on here. You can go on Facebook and like your own boards. I mean, why not? By the way, if you want to scroll to the top quickly, this button down here, button down there really helps. So I could go in here and say, I've got a board that, let me go to my boards here and say, today I'm just really digging my featured today stuff. So I'm going to go click on my featured today box, my pin board. And I could go in here and say, oh, wow, I love these shoes again. I want to post these shoes. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to like them on my Facebook. And it's going to put that actual picture with the shoes on my Facebook. But I don't think I have it connected to here right now, but I can, there we go. I can say like, and it confirms it. So, little things like that. And then if you go over to my Facebook, which I don't think I have it open right now, but it would show you that that's one of the things that I have as a thing today. And if it was my product, if I was the company, if I were Lisa Pliner, which is Donald J. Pliner's wife, and I made these shoes and I put them up here, it's going to drive more people to find those shoes and to go, oh, I want to buy those. I love those. So, again, if you want to plan out your time and even like, Christine is so great at saying, set a timer, give yourself 10 minutes a day on here and that's it, or do it first thing in the morning or wherever, you can go through and really decide what it is that you want to do for that day and focus on it and get that done. Let's see here. I'm going to look and see what questions you guys have. Yes, Marina, I love that scarf too. Putting a watermark on your items, Dickie, that's a really great question. How would you do that? Usually that would have to be through the software that you're using with the photography, like through Photoshop or that kind of thing. You'd have to do it through there. You can't really do it through here, but that's a very good question. So, if you are a photographer and you just take pictures that you love and you want to put on here, but you don't want them necessarily showing up without the credit going to you, I would definitely recommend doing that. And I'm just struggling to find anything with a watermark on it right now. I guess I could go up here in the search area and probably say watermark and see if anything shows up with a watermark on it. Well, they're showing me different watermarks. But see, here's something that someone has embedded, Watermark T. Maybe they own the company Watermark T, or, you know, that kind of thing. It's, here we go. Here's a good example. They've gone into and edited this photo and put their website, which is kind of hard to see down here. But that's kind of like a watermark. There we go. It's straightened out now. So Treasures for Tots blogspot.com. .blogspot.com. So that's telling you, okay, if I go to this and click on it, it's going to take me to that, treasuresfortots.blogspot.com. So that's kind of like a watermark. These are good. These have watermarks. So it's really done through, and a lot of this you'll see too with either really great photography or weddings. You know, the photographer wants to get the credit for what they've done. So life and reflection photography, you know, that kind of thing. So I hope that kind of helps. And I'm trying to think of what other things, you know, there's you can make a whole list of pinboard ideas, which there's just so many things, inspiring quotes, things that make you laugh. A great one that's a service to provide for your clients would be a solutions board. So that if you had people that, let's say your specialty is painting and you paint homes, you could actually have a board that says, you know, questions or solutions for home painting, or questions about, you know, what do I want to do if I want to paint my home? What are the steps? And you could actually go in that board and have information for those people as a solution. And then you could point them towards that board when people call you and say, hey, we have questions about this or that. Say, hey, check out my board, my pin board regarding exactly that on Pinterest. And like I have one, creative and design interests. And if I go in here, it reminds me when I'm working on my website or whatever. I keep everything from WordPress information in here to fonts that I love, stuff like that. So that's another one you could do is that kind of thing. You could do one that's, what would I buy if I won the lottery? That's a fun one. And, you know, the word lottery certainly brings up some interesting questions and interesting searches, I should say. Dinner recipes, breakfast recipes, ones for your sport team, colors, one that's just a color of your logo. Like my logo is kind of this mint green with a red accent. I could do an entire board that's just mint green stuff. And Lord knows there would be enough stuff to populate that. Let's see, one just photography, one about your employees or your partners. You know, recycling tips, weather, just one about weather and tracking weather, all these kind of things you can do. And there's just a ton of options. So, you know, holidays is a huge one on here. I mean, just posting about the holidays, as you can imagine, draws a ton of stuff. As you'll start seeing as we get closer to Halloween, there's going to be a ton of stuff on here for Halloween, for, you know, Christmas, for all kinds of stuff. There's, you know, people will put stuff for Kwanzaa, they'll put stuff for New Year's Eve, they'll put all kinds of stuff. So any other questions right now? Anybody have any questions? Anything I've not gone over? And I'll try to send you guys out a sheet that has some ideas and talks about the, you know, you can do strategy if you want. Let's see. Anything else as we start to wrap it up? Do a video too. You know, video is great on here, not just photography. Video is fantastic, and people love video on here. So be sure and do video. So let's see here. I can open it up if anybody has any other questions. You know, everything good? Everybody still with me? And certainly feel free to email me if there's any questions you guys have. Tanya at digitalsophisticate.com or at D_sophisticate on Twitter, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. So that's about it, I think. You know, if in adding, we can go through real quick to add something. If I want to add something, I could go here and click add. You can either add a brand new pin from something. You can upload a pin that you might have stored on a file on your drive, or you could create a whole new board from here. So there's lots of things you can do depending on what you want to do based on what your goals are, what you're in there to do at the moment. But it's really fun. And you can go here and search through gifts where people have priced things, put the prices on things and search through things, look at the most popular things. If you do click on the Pinterest logo up here, what that's going to pull up for you is everybody you're following. So if you click here, it's going to be everybody you're following. That's a big difference. A lot of people have questions about that. Like, what's the difference in these? This is everybody you're following. If you click everything, it's going to take you to everything being posted on Pinterest right then. Everything that your computer can load. So if you click everything, it's not even people that you're subscribed to. Just anything and everything that's popping up at that moment, populating on Twitter, that's what's going to show. Look how cool that is. Wow, I'm going to have to repin that to my decor because look how lovely that is. So I'm going to repin. Well, I'm going to like it and give this person a little support and say, hey, that's nice. I'm going to go down here and add a comment and say, beautiful accent wall. Tell them that's gorgeous. I'm going to post the comment. They'll see that and hopefully get a little, feel the love. And I'm going to repin it. And I'm going to put it on my, let's see where I've got my inspiring interiors and exterior delights and mosaic wall. And you know what I'm also going to put is I'm going to put that this is colorful. So if people are looking for colorful accents and things like that and swirl, I want people to be able to do those searches. So, and it tells you how much more room, how much more space you've got to type and whatnot. So I'm going to pin that. And then it's telling me, it'll prompt you after you pin it, hey, by the way, do you want to go in here and follow this other person's stuff? Because look, they have some other neat stuff. And I'm going to go, you know what? I do. I want to follow their crafts. Whoops, I think I clicked out of it too fast. But I can go through and follow their stuff too. And then again, it's just another thing that's going to show up in the feed when you go up here and click on your Pinterest. That's going to show up in the feed. So if I go click on this, since I just repinned that from another person, it's showing up right here since I pinned that. So I think that's about it. Thank you so much. Thanks, you guys. Thanks, Marina. That's a very nice comment. I love it. I hope things are going well over in Austria and in Europe and everywhere else everybody is. No matter where you find yourself today, I hope you have a wonderful day. And please, you guys, oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome, Myra. Thank you so much. And any questions you guys have, I hope that I've done a decent job in showing you some stuff. Thanks, Ariana. I love it. I love the love. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon. I've been on Facebook a little bit lately. I'm very, very busy with work and this last week, but I'll be back on there. And Dickie, thank you. Thank you guys for coming and believing in me and trusting me with an hour of your time to go over these things because I know your time is valuable. And I just hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of the day and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we'll chat soon. If you have any questions, let me know. Tanya@digitalsophisticate.com. You can contact me through my website, digitalsophisticate.com, and or on Twitter at D_sophisticate. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.